Well, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Second day in a row, it is pouring out there. Now, last night it had stopped raining long enough for me to go out walkies, kind of. I took my smaller umbrella with me. First half of the walk, first 2/3 of the walk was the occasional sprinkles, but when I got to Safeway, it was starting to rain, and when I left, it was umbrella time. So it's been raining, it is raining, and that's good. A good thing, thumbs up for that. Also, real quick, if everything sounded differently yesterday, I record the audio with Audacity using my AT2020 USB microphone. Yesterday, before I thought I had saved the file, didn't, closed Audacity, no Audacity sound file to use. I had to use the mic off of the PS4 camera. It sounded okay, I thought. Not bad, thumbs up for that. And I slept halfway good, so that's good. A definite good thing. I'm looking at my topics list right now. I have a lot of things written down. Because there's a lot of little things like this. Another thing that happened that I was watching, there was a video of the guy has a PhD in quantum mechanics. So he knows quantum mechanics. And he was critiquing the Ant-Man stuff. And in the end, his thing was, it's fine. I mean, it's the quantum realm there is no quantum realm. It's just when you get small, you start to have the quantum effects. And it's only when you get small enough that you get down below the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that is when you just don't know what's going to happen. Before then, there are rules. It is not bizarre and weird. It's only when you break down, get small enough below the Planck length, that things are just, there's no predictions. So, he said it was fine. But, while he was doing that, he went off on a weird tangent. And I discovered, because he went and fact-checked himself, there is a kit, a little electronics kit that you can buy. And you get a roach. And you stab this electronics kit into the roach's nervous system. And then you can control where and what the roach does with your smartphone. Yay, you can make it walk in other directions and do things at your command because it's giving signals to the bug's nervous system. As much as I don't like roaches, as much as I don't think roaches and other, especially roaches, I mean, can be controlled by a wasp that takes its stinger and runs it up through the roach's body, stabs it into its head, and then how it uses its stinger, it can control the bug the way we do it with electronics. So they're not an exceptionally sophisticated type animal, but I really, on an ethical and moral level, don't really like that idea. I mean, research, it's unfortunate, but learning things is good. But taking agency away from a bug I don't like that idea. Even on a bug. I mean, stomp on them if you're gonna. Kill them if you have to. But don't do that. Ugh. Now, I honestly cannot remember if I, brushed the, less than quarter of an inch long my beard is, so I had to do that. I've been having issues with my hair this morning, so good morning. I'm pretty unfocused, but that's okay. What else do I have on here? Because there was just, I wanted to do this on a clarification. The other day, I talked about, the overactive fear portions of the amygdala and people who are self-professed conservatives. I was making the equational statement of they have this, therefore this happened. But a person in comments was talking about this, and a point they did not mean to make but they made me think about was correlation is not causation. Just because you find it there with it doesn't mean it causes it. Yes, those people who are conservatives have overactive for portions of the brain. Correlation is not causation. That does not necessarily cause one or the other. Just because they're found together doesn't mean they're caused. One is causing the other. It's just something that happens. We don't know if, why, or what. It's there, but correlation is not causation. And I try to be at least as accurate as possible when I talk about things. And if I find out information that changes things, or remember, we all have biases, we all have blind spots, we all are irrational, we think we're logical, but we're not. And that was a blind spot that I wandered into. So I just want to clarify and make sure correlation is not causation. We find overactive fear parts of the amygdala in people can, profess to be conservatives, but correlation is not causation. So I just want to make sure that was clear. Thumbs up for that. Now, that also ties in with, I don't watch debates because debates are not to change anyone's mind. When you go into a debate, you have everything together to change the other person's mind, but they have the same thing to change yours, and you're not trying to learn about the other side. You're trying to browbeat them into accepting yours, and that's not going to happen. You cannot force someone to believe what you believe in. You cannot force someone to believe what you say. It has to make sense to them. We don't choose what we believe and not believe. We find out what we believe and don't believe, and then we have to work around that. Debates and such are set up to sway an audience. That's why it's a mistake to debate against anybody who's your quote-unquote enemy, because they will just use that as a recruitment tool. And debates are such that you can have one debate and both sides can present an edited video of that showing how they demolished the other side. It's just a recruitment tool. I just skip debates of anything entirely anymore. But with that, again, it's you don't choose what you believe and disbelieve. If you believe something, let's say you were raised in a culture which has a particular religion, we have found that 99% of the time the religion of the child is the religion of the parents. Not necessarily because the religion is right, but because that's your culture. You're raised in it. It's rubbed into you. You can't even see it. You have to decide to change. You can't be forced to change, because when somebody is trying to convince you of something and they already believe it, they are looking through, and I use this metaphor a lot and I'm going to continue doing so, they are looking through lenses that are colored by their belief. So when they have a perfect equation that should convince you of their side, it's because they're looking through the lenses of their belief. When they have that perfect equation and they hand it to you, you're not wearing those glasses. That equation is perfect for them because their lenses fill in dots and spaces and parts that don't make sense. So they have a perfect equation, completely balanced, and they hand it to you. And it might be something as simple as 2 + 2 = 4, but when you look at what they hand you, it's a lemon that's been cut into 2 pieces on one side. Well, is that 1 or is that 2? Is that 2 halves or is that 1 lemon? I mean, what is it supposed to be? Already it's ambiguous. And on the other side, it's 3 rocks. And then for the, what is the word? On the other side of the equation marks, the answer, quote unquote, what it boils down to is like 14 bundles of moss found on the side of the road. To you, not looking through the lenses of belief, it's like, what on earth is this? This isn't an equation. This doesn't make sense in the slightest. You're not looking through those lenses of belief. It's not filling in the blanks to make it a perfect equation. So you just say, this is garbage. Here, let me show you why you're wrong. And you're looking through the lenses of your belief right then. Again, unconscious. You don't decide what you believe. If you don't believe something, no matter what the other person piles on you, they can't make you believe it. You have to ruminate over it, think over it, and then if it convinces you, then you will change. But you take your equation, demolishing everything that they have, and you hand it to them. And they're looking at it with their lenses and not yours. And again, your perfect equation showing why they're wrong is, okay, you've handed me a handful of push pins, a piece of broccoli, and it comes out to a rock. What on earth does that mean? The lenses of what you are, who you are, what you believe, and what you know colors everything you see and believe. And it fills in those blanks to make an equation perfect. But other people don't have those lenses. And when they look at that perfect equation, a good 25% of it is just plain not there. You can't force anyone to change their mind. Now you can help people to change. I watched this one fellow, Bull of the Fifth Column. He's a Floridian. He's a country boy. Everybody stays up, you don't get in each other's business. Someone was saying, how do I change people's minds out here in the rural areas in the country? And he was saying, you don't change minds. You can't change minds. They have to change themselves. So present and change your argument. Don't put it as you're wrong. One of the big things is, like for country people, is you mind your business. You raise your own. And if you do something wrong, everybody will know about it. Everybody may give you a side eye for a time, but it's your business. And they're not going to tell you how to run your life. If you've got your farm and you're following the law and you look over the fence and your neighbor's growing some stuff that ain't quite legal, do you turn them in? No, that's not your business. That's their business. You're not going to tell them how to run their life. So Bo's idea was to say, okay, let's say you've got a trans child. You may not like it. You may be upset about it, but it's your business. And now the government is coming in and telling you that your child doesn't know how it ought to be raised, that you don't know how to raise your child. Your family does not know how to raise your child. Your response just should be to point that out and say, I would never tell another person how to raise their child. And then let it go at that. Let them think about it. Let them go, gosh, I did this last year and I really shouldn't have, and everyone looked at me wrong, but we got through it. Nobody told me, and now they're coming in and telling me that I can't raise my child the way my child wants to be. I can't raise my child the way I want my child to be. The government's coming in to tell me how to raise my child. You can change minds if you present it properly. There's a lot more on my list. Like my scapula, I wanted to talk about the utilitarianness and how clothes can look. And there's, what else do I have on there? Talking about boomer shooters and evil is presented in role-playing games. But I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. Thank you for having taken the time, expended the calories, and left a comment. It is appreciated. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, with a whole bunch of issues, I still forget stuff. A whole lot better. Whole lot better. We have Ice Damon, thumbs up, and Kenneth Marks, greatly appreciated. We have Trucker Rob, thumbs up and thank you. Randy Thompson, greatly appreciated. Jensen Lopez, greatly appreciated. We have Johnson Dergs, thumbs up. And then there's Kapaki, good to see you in the comments. We have Shadow XII, or Shadwo, thumbs up and thank you. Garrett the Ginger, greatly appreciated. Flora Mew, always good to see you in the comments. Thank you very much. I want to answer every comment you make, but I'm fighting with it. So, thank you. DVR03, greatly appreciated. James Caleb, thank you. Jesse, greatly appreciated. Blady CS Source, hello. We have Sandro Morais, Morais, thumbs up and thank you. Glow Static, greatly appreciated. We have Cocos, greatly appreciated. 19 was something written in Arabic. I'm going to have to answer that using Google Translate. And that is Lexi M. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world, dealing with real people. And my throat is so sore, and I'm having to push just to talk. I know my voice only sounds like 25% bad, but thank you so much for putting up with it. It is greatly appreciated. And thank you, each and every one of you that left comments. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and it is appreciated to no end. If you could check out my various things down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and if you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well. And of course, if you'd like to help me out without buying anything that way, I do have a post office box that I'm paying like $200 a year for. Send me postcards or letters or anything you want. I'll open them up here on channel and we will all ooh and ah over them, because thank you so much. I can't remember the rest of my spiel. Whenever I derail myself, there's always the chance that I'm never going to be able to pick up the breadcrumb trail and get back to where I had diverted from. I'm on ADHD meds and it helps a lot. I also have to use cannabis products for pain control, and cannabis does do a small number on short-term memory, so yay. But still, be as safe and careful and creative and centered as you can. Stay positive, seek the best in life. It is much, much better than the alternative. So thumbs up on that. And depending on where you are, things are opening up after the pandemic. In some spots of the world, good God, please be as careful as possible. It is still raging out of control in many parts of the globe. If you're somewhere that you can be safe. I have not had a cold in the past year because I've been wearing a mask. Even if you're vaccinated, stay healthy. Wear a mask. It works. Maintain your social distancing. I'm fully vaxxed and I still maintain social distancing. Try not to touch your face. Wash your hands. Just be careful is the main point. If you're careful and smart, you can get through this. Hopefully, we can't control other people. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is a definite thumbs up. Once again, I got like a sword pointing in that direction so I can pretend it's like there's treasure down there or something. That's kind of cool.